that's all I ask you do. Don't erase me. Silence is a thoughtless way to let go, then to face me. I wasn't always the bad guy in the stories you were told. What are your friends all saying? Hanging on my watch, my thoughts are overrun. To think that you have left me, to think that we are done. I'll go, and you'll never see me fight for.
Silence got the best of me. I let go. I cannot face you. You weren't always the bad guy. Stories getting old. A book I had to close. I can't read you anymore. Just strangers with some memories. Is all we have to be. 'Cause I don't have no armor left to fight for your existence.
Fight for.
Still as a breeze, a river flowing deep. Don't wanna leave the air you breathe. Living mirrors dreams when I think of you and me. Don't wanna leave the world you see, and I will hold you down if love is still alive. It's all forgiven to my eyes. The tide has turned around. Just listen to the sound. Two hearts beating
Hello, everybody. What's going on? Here for game number 3 of our Super Sunday. We have a good one for you. My name's XDon, and I'm here with my boy who just played. Rutledge is a beast. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. A little bit of a rough game last game, but just looking forward to casting now and getting that off my head a little bit.
A little rough, but hey, man, that Tryndamere was looking spicy, and we have 2 pretty good top laners in the league that you play against often. What are your opinions on them?
I think GVG might be a little bit overhyped, but I mean, I do think he's good. I think he's better out of lane than he is in lane. I don't think he usually punishes, or maybe he just played scared when I played against him. But I know big play Jodway is also pretty solid, so they'll probably go about even. But I think, yeah, GVG might just be a little overhyped.
All right, guys, so you heard it. GVG's overhyped and plays scared. So will he be able, the Season 1 and Season 2 champion of Duo Esports, be able to, maybe prove something to us this game? Because he is against a pretty tough opponent, against OC Nation. I feel like both of these teams are pretty middle of the pack to upper pack. But going into picks and bans, we have a couple going out already. We have Kaisa and Graves being banned, 2 very, very, very meta, high damage, extremely good champions for Naughty Nips. Gortz will not be able to play the Kaisa, but very prominent on the on the Graves. And then we have Yorick Kled banned out against Big Play Jodway. We know he's their main carry on that roster. They also are using a couple subs. Cadenator not there, so the Yasuo isn't going to be banned this game. Just looking at the ban so far, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, they're definitely targeting the only real strong carry that we know of on OC, which is pretty smart. Take away a couple of his cover picks, probably even a third pick maybe here, unless they have something that is a pocket pick for Killjoy or their mid laner C-Snatch. Yeah, there's a third ban on top lane, so that's pretty expected when you just have someone so much better than the rest of his team, or at least it seems that way. We'll have to see if someone can step up and kind of support the carry from top lane.
I know they did leave the Fiora up. There are a couple carry options available should he decide to want to pick them early, but it's always risky picking a carry early in the top side of the map, simply because there's so many counter options I feel like available in this current meta.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to pick Fiora this early because there's, like you said, there's a lot of things you can play into Fiora that actually could do really well against her, and at a certain point she just can't do anything unless it's super late game. So that'd be definitely pretty risky, but we'll see if they take the pick maybe third. I could see that, but I wouldn't take it definitely in the first couple picks.
Lucian being picked up for the side of OC Nation, another takeaway from Gortz, and he's going to probably be forced down here onto the Ezreal or Varus. We'll see what Naughty Nips decides to go for here, but Morgana being locked in for Mother Beep and Meow actually had a pretty rough time against it yesterday, I believe. She went Soraka into the Morgana, but now on the other side of the matchup here, wanted to lock it in, and Kayn being locked in for Blight. Very, very nice champion of his.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they banned the Mundo over the Kayn. Blight's really strong on Kayn. I definitely do respect his Kayn over his Trundle and his Graves, which is the other popular things he likes to play. But yeah, his Kayn is definitely one of the things I would actually have banned over the Mundo or even the Graves. I'm not too impressed with his Graves, but his Kayn definitely is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, Blight, one of the premier jungles last season. He's proven himself to be pretty good and able to pop off at any moment this season. I wouldn't say he's exactly having the exact same carrying performances that he had last season, but you get him into the mid-game team fights, you get him into the late game, he's able to get his Rost form most likely, looking at the team comp, and he's able to pop off at any moment. And like we talked about, Fiora being picked up by Big Play Jodway, I didn't think he was going to want to let that go into the second ban phase, because 5 top lane bans were for sure coming out. So they go ahead, lock in the Fiora, and the Fizz for C-Snatch.
That's the risk of running Fiora this early, because Darius will have a good time with her before she gets a couple items on. Even then, he's going to basically win that matchup to about 3 items probably. Then Fiora will have a good time with it, but if he can not get super far behind is the big question, because GVG is definitely pretty good on Darius, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so Fiora needs to at least stall out the game, and it's going to be a rough time in top lane.
Yeah, I agree with you. Banning the Mundo over the Kayn or even the Darius, I think both of those might have been better bans, but Blight and GVG sure going to be happy with how this picks and bans is rolling out. As we go into the second phase, blind picking both of your solar laners is a little risky, but their champion pools might not be as broad as some other players on their team, so they want to go ahead and lock in those early. Feel like they can play them into pretty much any matchup. As we look at what both sides are banning, bot lane obviously the target here, Braum being taken away from Naughty Nips, Draven Gortson is really getting targeted out here on AD carries.
Yeah, the Braum being taken away from the Lucian, that would have been a really strong bot lane. And they also, I don't know, I guess they're going to ban another support here, but I don't really know what else you ban. There's Rakan, actually. That's a pretty good aggressive lane with Lucian as well. But I honestly kind of wish they would have went and targeted the the jungler more here, honestly, than the support, because
Yeah,
he is also a sub.
Yeah, I could see giving Kane, Blight's Kane in particular, a couple good matchups, and he would probably be able to punish pretty hard if he was taking down the champion tier list a little bit. Yasuo being hovered, but I don't think it's going to get picked up at all. Ezreal also being banned from Goritson, so really he's picking from the bottom of the barrel here. There's not that many ADs to choose from.
Yeah, I don't like the Fizz pick early, because we saw what happens when you pick Fizz early. I mean, the guy, I can't remember which team it was, but went Wukong and it ended up being like 15-1. So, I mean, we'll see if the Victor punishes it that hard. But the Victor's definitely good into Fizz, so that's a good matchup for him mid. And I would have taken away like a Trundle or even this Swajwani than taking away both supports. Maybe the Braum, but I wouldn't have taken necessarily away Rakan.
No, probably not. We see Combat Killer locking in the Janna. So it'll be Janna Lucian, pretty, I feel like, passive early on. We still don't know what AD carry is going to go down for Naughty Nips, but Sejuani rounding out the team composition, giving the engage that OC Nation desperately needed. Somebody else to be able to dive with the Fizz and the Fiora, be able to soak up a little bit of damage. So I think their comp pretty well rounds out there, and we see the Jinx being locked in. Really had to go deep in the barrel for it, but ends up locking in the Jinx. We've seen a couple pop-off performances on the champion so far, and we need to note that Victor is going into the Fizz. That's a little bit of a rough matchup for the Victor.
I think he's okay because of the his W or his stun. In lane, because he gets put it under the Fizz, and the Fizz kind of has a hard time of getting out of it if he has good timing with it. And I've seen Victor in the LCS, even Victor played into Fizz, and it's been okay. But he definitely has to play safe. I wouldn't go TP here if I was him, but I mean, that's his choice because he's definitely going to be in trouble without any combat spells. But the Janna with the Lucian, I don't really like. I think Lucian's definitely pretty much strictly a lane bully. I think he'd be okay out of lane, but the Janna's not going to do much to help that. And Jinx is going to be able to kind of farm out this lane, and I think she's going to be nuts past 3 items.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't see really how Lucian is going to be able to really show his oppressiveness with his item builds early on, but who knows, with the Fizz, with the Sejuani, Fiora possibly able to get a teleport flank, it is possible. Once they hit level 6, OC Nation's comp kind of explodes. So, like, whether Fizz is able to 1v1 Victor, if he's able to land a good ultimate, whether Sejuani is going to get able to get a couple good ganks off and snowball some of her laners, who are notably pretty scary once they get fed. But I feel like if OC Nation's comp falls behind ever so slightly, the scaling on Naughty Nips is going to start taking effect, and it's just going to be a huge snowball from there.
Yeah, I really don't like how they picked kind of like not scale. They picked the mid, the Fizz that's not going to scale amazingly, and the Lucian that's not going to scale amazingly. Because Victor and Jinx will both outscale their counterparts. So the 4-1, because you usually expect the Fiora to go in the 4-1, because I don't think it's very good in the team fight. So when she does finally beat Darius, the rest of her team's going to be losing. So they're going to have to play that perfectly for them to win the 4-1. Otherwise, it's not going to matter if your Fiora can beat Darius because the rest of your team's just getting steamrolled.
Yeah, if Fizz is able to get a little bit ahead, he can be the one to start to split push. Maybe Fiora groups up for a little bit. Maybe they try a 1-3-1 strategy, which looks kind of like what they're setting up here, especially with the Janna and the Sejuani. Would be able to play pretty safe against some sieges in the mid lane. They did, notably, just to point this out, they did recently nerf Lucian's ultimate, and he does do less damage clearing minion waves with his ultimate. So if he's going to be their only choice of wave clear, if they decide to go for the 1-3-1, I think Victor, Jinx with the long-range rocket auto attacks, they're kind of just going to have a field day if they ever have those people grouped up under tower with the Morgana binds, the Victor lasers. There's a lot of poke also coming out from the side of Naughty Nips. It's not noticeable like immediately, but once you kind of look at the champions, they have a lot of range.
Yeah, and I think Kane can honestly in the 1-3-1 beat Fizz at a certain point. So I think that honestly they could win the 1-3-1. Naughty Nips could. But they're just going to have to depend on the Fiora, like getting ahead of the Darius and also getting to that 3-item point where she will beat him. But then again, I just think they're going to be so weak on the other side. Like you said, Morgana bindings catches out one person. They're not going to have a real way to stop the engage after that. And it's going to be a quick burst follow-up from Jinx and Victor, like you said, with the range poke. And I don't think the 1-3-1 from Naughty Nips is too bad to for them to exploit that, because I think Fizz at some point does get outscaled, especially against someone like a Kane that's going to bruiser him to death. He's not gonna be able to one shot. But like you said, if Fizz gets ahead enough and is able to get to a point where he can just one shot anyone, then that 1-3-1 is gonna be really nice for OC Nation.
Yeah, I completely agree with you here. And just also taking a note at what we see from Champion Select, Summoner spells, we do see heal off of Killjoy 226, wanting to go for more lane dominance, really taking that Summoner spell and Fizz also going with the Ignite instead of another summoner rather as Teleport, wanting to get the solo kills and wanting to get their lanes ahead, I think is the right strategy for them because those champions are so good early on. Whereas on the other side of the map, we have Jinx with Teleport, we have Victor with Teleport, obviously Darius in the top lane taking Teleport. 3 TPs is really risky if you start falling behind because the teleports eventually mean nothing and then you're down to just a flash. So will they be able to use their teleports correctly, get the back timings that they need to get? This is all stuff we're gonna have to look out for during the game.
Yeah, I think it's a little. I don't know if they need the 3 TPs on their side. I think either Victor or Jinx should have gone a combat spell. Probably Jinx to be able to make her lane even safer. And they can definitely kill the Lucian Janna if Morgana's hitting her bindings. But maybe he just thought he wanted to be able to back more often, and he's gonna play it safe enough to where he's not gonna get caught out and all in. But they definitely have the advantage in the all in. And I agree, it's very smart of them. That's like the way they win this game is they start snowballing ahead, and then also give Fiora enough time to get to that 3 item spike. And once she gets there, or even just winning the 4-4 while she split pushes against Darius, because she'll be okay as long as she doesn't get shit on in the early game.
Yeah, and I know if I'm Fizz, if I'm Sejuani, if I'm Fiora, and I don't see exhaust, barriers, cleanses, especially Sejuani, if you're not taking cleanse mid lane on Victor, you're so easily able to be punished. Like level 6, even if you have flash, you're probably going to get towered out. Sejuani is easily able to tank up the tower. There's plethora of CC. Fizz is able to trade aggro of the tower, so going the teleport is extremely risky, but it's also very high reward. If he's able to get it to pay off, pick up a couple extra minion waves, starts getting an item advantage, then it could really swing in his favor. So that'll be something we look at throughout the entire game pretty much.
Yeah, it also helped them in the mid game and the late game with answering the one, like if they try to do a 1-3-1 or even just a 1-4 split, because it'll allow them to have more rotations and more responses to OC Nation's comp, and they might be able to get some objectives like Drakes or Barons or whatever off that. But yeah, it's really going to depend on how they use their macro play to use those TPs, because if they don't use them well, then it was just a waste, and they could have been much safer with barrier, heal, and just any combat spell really. Even Ignite would help them possibly get a catch or a kill in the 1v1.
Something else a little bit scary is Naughty Nips historically this season have lost really hard in the early game, and they only pick it back up once they start grouping up into those mid-game team fights. That's really when when GVG shines. He's very good at team fights. That's really when Blight shines. They're able to like maneuver these team fights so well that even though they've had different members in the mid lane, in the bottom lane, those two have been so consistent in the mid game that they've really been able to carry despite 10k gold leads, 15k gold leads. They're really able to swing and know when their champions are at their peak, and they use that effectively, and then they kind of like carry their team from there. So will they be able to do that again? The Fizz is going to make it difficult, the Lucian's going to make it difficult, but we're into the game. OC Nation on the blue side, we have Naughty Nips on the red side. I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be a good one. We'll see if they slug it out and see if they can get that early advantage. Even though with the couple subs in the game, it still should be a pretty close game. I'm interested to see how this mid laner does C-Snatch, though, because like you said, Kaninator is one of the big carries. Like, basically, the solo lanes of OC Nation have carried them through the league, similar to how Conqueror has been doing most of the season. So we'll see if they can let if this sub really hurts them and like really makes their early game suffer because of it.
Yeah, this is also, I think, our first time seeing Drakenrich in the jungle, so whether or not he'll be able to get his lanes ahead or have the pressure needed as a jungler will be a very big question in this game. Both teams lining up in the 5-point at the river. No shenanigans here. No cheeky Morgana invades, which we've seen oh so often so far this league.
Yeah, I think Naughty Nips might just think they are just the better team, and it's definitely safer just to do the 5-point and not have anything go poorly wrong, because, again, it comes down to them losing. If they lose the early game, then that could spiral out of control. So all they need to do is kind of go even or just slightly ahead or even slightly behind, and I think they'll be okay past about 20-25 minutes.
Looking at item builds here, we see Fizz going for the Corrupting Potion, knowing he's going to take a lot of poke early from Victor, and as soon as he gets to the ultimate, really that's when he's able to go for the all-ins. But until then, the Q procs, the laser poke, he's going to have a hard time farming. And also looking at the bot lane, Jinx, knowing she's going to be into a rough matchup against the Lucian, opting to go for the Doran Shield and a health potion and Fleet Footwork, so she's going to try and sustain up and stay pretty safe in that bot lane from what it looks like.
Yeah, that's definitely the smart play for her. I mean, I think she's kind of safe. I really just don't get the Janna, especially taking Ignite. I just don't think that's I don't think she's meant to play aggressive in lane. I think she's great at peeling back and being kind of a passive laner with like a really strong carry. But we'll see how it works out. Maybe they have a strategy, make it work out. But I just don't know about the Ignite on Janna and trying to play that lane aggressive with her.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest supporter of Ignite on Janna, just simply because if you're that close to the enemy, typically you're not playing Janna the right way. But we see a huge trade going on in the top lane right now. I don't think it's going to lead into anything, but GVG is starting to get the bleed stacks. He does have to be a little bit careful, and they're both going to back off here. But already both top laners at half health. They're both screaming for their jungler.
Yeah, they Fiora got a couple lucky procs for passive off there, kind of angled towards her a couple times in a row, so that kind of helped her kind of come out evenly or positively in that trade. But definitely she gotta be careful letting Darius kind of ramp up in that fight. Like it's gonna all of a sudden be one-shotting your HP bar if you let him get 5 stacks.
As a top laner yourself, with the Fiora Darius matchup, actually, hang on, we might actually win. It's a first blood. Bottom lane walking a little bit too far forward, and like we said, no heal on Goertzen, and Combat Killer and Killjoy226 picking up the first kill of the game. That was not what I expected.
No, it wasn't either. Mother just seemed to kind of disrespect the level 2, and she didn't even hit level 2, which is kind of why she got bursted out so quickly. They didn't even have to use one of their summoner spells, so that lane could really spiral out of control. It looks like GVG had a great trade top and forces the flash at Fiora. But I would prefer the Fiora or the Darius really early here. But like I said, once she hits 3 items, she can kind of just bully Darius if he's not already been so far ahead.
And the hook like that, dragging Fiora under tower, making her blow the flash early, is kind of how you kind of maintain your dominance in that lane. Sorry. Something I'm not too sure how this happened. Does Fiora have a longsword for you as well as her Doran's blade?
Yeah, it looks like she's planning on fighting aggressively in lane. I
don't know how she purchased the longsword, but
oh, she had I think like 10 CS. I mean, I'm not sure either. Maybe she sold her pot. Maybe she didn't use it, I'm not sure. But she was probably close. She might even waited in base slightly and then just TP'd. But yeah, I don't know about going that this early, especially after just burning your flash. Like, when are you going to have a chance to really trade the Darius evenly at this point?
Yeah, it's going to be a little rough if Sejuani decides to help out. That would be pretty key. Although GVG does still have his flash, he should be pretty safe for the meantime. But we also know he's a big proponent of not using control ward. C-Snatch having to use the Playful Trickster to get out of the gravity field dropped from Vosloo. Really nice trading going on in the mid lane from Naughty Nip's side.
Yeah, Naughty Nips is definitely taking advantage of the mid lane at the very early levels. Like you said, wait till Fizz at 6, he's going to get really bullied in this matchup, so it looks like Sejuani's coming over to just kind of hold the tower. But Vosloo's doing exactly what he needs to do, shoving the Fizz in, getting ahead in CS, so even once that level 6 happens, if he's ahead enough, then he can definitely manage with the Fizz, especially if he gets some defensive MR in his build as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good MR items that do build a lot of AP that C-Snatch will be able to build in this game, and really give it to Vosloo coming towards the mid game here, and still just concentrating in the top lane. We see longswords coming out from both solo laners. They want the damage, they want to hurt each other and make them feel it.
Yeah, once this Darius is allowed to get that XP, and it looks like Fiora is backing after shoving him in. When she comes back, he's going to be pretty dangerous, unless she has a pretty good buy here, which she might be able to get her team at, but we'll see. But Darius might even be level 6 by the time she gets back into lane, since she has no TP. So he's sitting pretty right now with a... Oh, it looks like she wasn't able to finish her team match, so that actually really hurts her, because she won't be able to get that extra little damage off each time she goes in for a trade.
With an Infernal Dragon being our first Drake on the board here, where do you think the junglers need to be in order to position for this? Or do they even prioritize it?
Well, after that first kill bot lane and burning Morgana's flash, and also Jinx has no TP anymore, I would definitely hug boss side. Their team, especially in the OC Nation, needs that Infernal to kind of help compensate for some of that lackluster scaling. And it would also excel Fiora to even stomp the Darius out even harder once those 3 items do come. So I think OC needs to really be focusing bot side.
We do see Sejuani coming into bot side here. Combat Killer was able to get the slow. Mother Beep and Meow does not have flash, and they take advantage of it. Flash is coming out from Drake and Rich, and they pick up another kill onto the Morgana. You called it exactly. They needed to pressure the bot side, punish the summoners being down, and that is exactly what they did. Really good play coming out from OC Nation.
Yeah, that's exactly what they needed to do. Focus on just keeping that bot lane down, not letting Gurkson scale, and keeping Mother Beep and Meow has no flash is a free kill as long as they were able to use Sejuani flash into her and get that CC lock.
Really, really good play coming out from the bottom lane of OC Nation. Using the Janna effectively into the Morgana is really hard, because if you walk too far forward, you get hit with a binding. And looking at the top side of the map, now that we flip the script here, GVG actually had a 15 CS lead for a little bit, but Fiora able to farm up most of those minions under tower, and is able to catch back up. Not too much of an advantage is there, and her flash is already 75% of the way up. Both of them hitting level 6, though. You kind of see the fire in their eyes, and GVG tries to go for the kill. Will she be able to tick down from the passive? It's going to be a close one. She does have a potion ticking, but it is not enough. The Conqueror, God King himself, GVG in the house, picks up the solo kill onto Big Play Jadwe.
Yeah, Big Play's really going for those trades, and I'm not really sure why. You should only be looking for opportunities to kind of poke him down a bit with his Q and the passive, and then after getting a couple of those procs, maybe going in. But he goes a little bit too deep there and then gets flashed on and ulted under tower. This is like the only champion I've ever seen GVG play aggressive in lane on.
And he's doing it pretty well. His Darius has been revered across many of Bronze, Silver, Gold League, and he's quite scary on the champion. I know when it came back into the meta a little bit earlier, like this season at the beginning, I know he was screaming for joy, and he was very happy about it. So he's kind of showing why this kind of needs to be banned against him.
Yeah, I think he's played it like 3 times this week, this weekend even. So like, I was really interested in why they banned Mundo over Darius, but I mean, he's getting the God King Darius skin out, and he looks like he's having a good time in that lane.
Yeah, a new skin. That's why it's OP right now. It does more damage with the skin.
It looks like it does more damage. I mean, definitely playing against it a couple times. It's not fun.
Yeah, we do see Fizz has his ultimate now in the mid lane. Will they decide to press the trigger? Blight, we haven't seen him yet on the map, but he has been hovering mid kind of this entire game. I think he's waiting for C-Snatch to go in. I could be wrong, but as of right now, he's power farming up pretty good. Yeah,
Kane just needs to get to his red form as soon as possible. Again, like once he gets like once all their champions get to that mid game 20 minutes, NN is gonna have a much better time in these matchups. And it looks like it's kind of going the way we thought, with Darius having the slight advantage. Mid's actually doing much better than I expected him to do after hitting 6. He's still keeping that pressure on, up about 15 CS, which is really good for Victor if he's able to get that scaling and more items, because he even scales even harder after that couple patches ago, getting that slight buff.
Laszlo trading very aggressively in lane, using a lot of his mana, won't be able to clear out the wave as fast. But with Fizz at half HP, he won't be able to trade. We might see an all-in here from the top. The riposte not able to hit anything. The ultimate being able to come out from Big Play Jadwe. He's trying to heal through all the damage of GVG, but it's not enough. He gets the 5-stack dunk and one more auto after that. He gets another solo kill. Big Play Jadwe is playing this lane so aggressively.
Good flash by Victor there in the mid lane.
Yeah, we're not even done with the action. Both members of the mid and jungle duo using their ultimates, but Vaso kind of just chilling, flashing out, and he is safe. He'll be able to teleport back to lane and pick up the rest of this wave if he chooses to. But he's like, no, let me go back for some trading. So after all that, man, there's a lot of action.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to bait here for the Kane.
Is Blight going to be able to go up here? He does blow the flash. He hits the end of the W, gets a little bit of a slow on. The thumbs up is coming out, but is it enough? C-Snatch being able to flash after the ultimate. Will he be able to get the blast cone over? It looks like he is, and Blight gets nothing for his troubles. GVG has to be a little bit careful here. Although he does have a 2-level lead on Big Play, the vital procs are starting to come in. Pulls him out under the tower, gets a little bit of a heal. The minion blocks! Big Play, Jadwe, stop! Just stop!
Yeah, he's playing this lane real wrong. Like, why are you being so aggressive against the Darius, especially after you're behind? All you need to do is let the game get to 3 items and you just win. He cannot 1v1 you at that point. But it's going to take you so long if you just keep inting to him under tower in lane and keep chasing down that kill. The previous death he had, it was actually very close. If he could have got the passive off, I think he canceled his auto. But it could have been a possible kill for him instead of going the other way to Darius. But he's just playing it too aggressively, in my opinion. There's no reason to take those risks when all you got to do is scale and you beat him.
Yeah, might have to change his name to Big Play's other enemy top laner, because he's kind of starting to be very, very too aggressive now, especially after the first kill, especially after the second kill. Now he's 3 kills down, all of them solos, and GVG on the Darius is just a monster right now.
Yeah, I think he's just disrespecting the fact that Baron, I think, has the better top laners overall, except for Sievert. Obviously, Sievert's a pretty good top laner, but the rest of I think Elder has pretty weak top, so maybe he's just used to playing super aggressive in lane. But you got to respect the fact that, one, you're playing it in a matchup that you should lose early, and just playing against GVG, which has shown that he can play Darius very well.
With all this top lane pressure, actually, we might see a little bit of a gank in the mid lane. Mother Beep and Meow still doesn't have flash, but he doesn't go for him. They decide to go for Gertsen instead. Janna with the insect, able to make Gertsen go back into the team, and Killjoy easily is like, thank you for the double. His team is setting him up for success so well here.
Yeah, so Drawing's making some really good pathing down to bot, abusing the fact that Gorson also doesn't have heal or any other safe summoner. And I don't know about Mother Beeping out taking Ignite with the TP also with Jinx, because it's just kind of counterintuitive. You need to have at least some safety from combat spells if you're going to go the TP on Jinx, especially early on.
Teleport's being used from Burst here to try and pick up the rest of the wave. Blight there for support. The push will not be able to continue. And really, this game is starting to turn into a war of the sides of the map. GVG just completely wrecking over top lane, whereas the bot lane of OC Nation is completely stomping over Naughty Nips. And it's really going to come down to which side of the map can carry.
Yeah, it's also going to come down to which side of the map. If, like, Fiora can stop the bleeding and get to 3 items, and the same goes for Jinx. If she can stop the bleeding and get to 3 items, whoever does that better and plays the mid game better as a team and gets their carries to that point is probably gonna win the game. Because after that point, their top's gonna start winning really hard, and then bot's gonna start winning really hard mid to late game.
Fizz kind of keeping the CS deficit a little bit even. It's around 20-25 right now. He'll be able to pick up a lot of these minions here. Hopefully, we hope. Looks like he's going for the the Proto Belt Rush.
Yeah, they're falling a bit down in CS, both mid and top. So it looks like NN is really pushing their advantage in those lanes, which honestly, for Victor, keeping that strong lead is going to be really nice going into mid game once they start fighting over Drakes, which we got an Infernal up. So this is very big. I think they should start calling Darius down, especially since he has TP, or just keep pressuring. And now that they see Sejuani top, they should be heading immediately to Drake.
Yeah, GVG seeing the jungler, has his wards out, is going to back off here, but both of his wards are being cleared, so he's going to have to play pretty safe for the most part. But he doesn't decide to do that at all, actually. I think he wants to go for this 2v1, or he does it. He'll back off, just say, hey man, taking out my pink wards aren't nice. I only buy like 1 a game.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to invade the red side just to take his red buff away instead of going for the Drake, which I understand because you have a bot lane that's losing pretty hard and they need to get scaling. But I still think mid's winning enough, and if you TP down with Darius, and if Fiora has no TP, that's a free Infernal Drake.
It is. Are they able to abuse it, though? We do see Blight. He's now hovering around the bot side, clearing out a little bit of the vision. There are no wards currently around the Infernal Drake for the side of OC Nation, so they're completely blind if a play decides to be made, though. We see C-Snatch roaming down. He is going to get spotted out over that Tri-Bush vision.
Yeah, it looks like that roam's not going to do much for him. It looks like they're playing back, playing safe. They had vision on him.
Topside ultimate landing for Drakenrich. GVG has the flash available. He will be able to get out here. I do not play flash aggressively. We see Drakenrich flashing aggressively. There's kind of a little bit of a miscommunication on the play, but the fight going down in the bottom side of the map. Blight might tick down to the Ignite here. He does get a little bit of heal going through the Humble Trespass. And Boslo saying, hey, you're going to roam bot. I'm going to roam top. Will it mean anything, though? C-Snatch able to pick up the kill with the mobility on the annoying fish. Maybe Blight disrespecting just a little bit, not fully committing to the escape. And despite, action happening in the top and bot sides of the map at the same time. And another fight breaking out. Huge tornado from Combat Killer is able to knock up the Jinx, and Lucian's just like, hey man, I'm so fed at this point. Diving tower takes out Morgana yet again. 0-6 for the bot lane of Naughty Nips, or 0-2 for the Lucian. Has the Blade of the Ruin King completed. He is so huge.
Yeah, that first kill really kind of spiraled this lane out of control, along with the Sejuani ganking repeatedly with their summoners being down and not having any combat spells. That really ends up looking like it's going to come back to bite them really hard, and they're going to have to just try to stall at this game, because it's just getting worse and worse in the bot lane.
I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh man, Sejuani just camp bot lane, oh, Lucian's just farming well, maybe he's the better AD carry, Lucian's just OP. But I actually think Janna is playing so well. She's able to hit all of these clutch abilities, even against the Black Shield. She's able to hit the knockup, she's able to get the slows across, and I think she's really been trying to carry this lane.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's more missing the Black Shields on the wrong person, or if it is the Janna just hitting both of their targets, but it definitely seems like Janna's playing it great. But I think Morgana should be able to play this matchup probably a little bit better, and also be landing more of the bindings on, because Janna's useless without the Lucian, but that early death is what really spiraled this lane out of control.
Yeah, so I'm a support main / Janna Wintrix. I'm gonna give her a little bit of love.
Okay.
I think she's been playing pretty good, even going for the Janna sec. But Naughty Nips playing around their strong side of the map. They're gonna start going for the Herald here. Will Vaso be able to one-shot somebody? The gravity field's gonna go down. Combat Killer is gonna be getting out of there with just the shield. The ultimate does go down though for Vaso, and he is completely out of mana to continue the rest of this fight. GVG does have the Conqueror proc. Will he be able to get all this damage off? Blight going in huge with the ultimate from the Kayn, is able to take down C-Snatch, and GVG getting so much healing, but he gets focused down by the rest of OC Nation. Now the bot lane's joined up, and you know what that means. Killjoy is going to go on a rampage here. He goes ahead and chases down the Victor. Will he be able to pick up the kill? Probably one more dash will do it. He says no. He goes for the drive-by instead. I'm not even sure who picked up Rift Herald there. I think it was Naughty Nips, but it's going to get denied.
Yep, it looks like Naughty Nips actually did stop the Rift Herald, which is nice for them, not allowing it, kind of like them to get a tower push and spiral out of control. But what happened there was the bot lane just had the better rotation, and once you saw the Janna and you probably knew Lucian was coming, why would you stay and fight that 3v5? Because that's basically what it turned into and why it spiraled out of control. Even with the stronger Darius, Fiora is not useless, and if you just get out straight up outnumbered, then you're just going to lose that fight. So Naughty Nips is kind of overextending there.
Yeah, big thing to take away from there is A, they denied the Rift, which is great for them because top side of the map was their only advantage at the moment, and secondly, they got more kills on the Fiora, but I'm not sure why they're walking up to try and defend that tower. It was pretty much dead, and Morgana goes ahead and goes down for the 5th time. She's gonna need that Zanya's Rush finished somewhat soon, but they're not done. Naughty Nips trying to punish the over-aggression, the overstaying from OC Nation. It looks like they're gonna be able to. We see Killjoy with his first death of the game, and Janna able to get out pretty smoothly, but OC Nation noticing all the members of Naughty Nips on the top side, and they go ahead and push down this mid-tier 1.
I mean, it's nice to get the shutdown, but at what cost? They use TP from both Darius and their mid laner, and they lose mid tower, and Fizz is able to farm bot and get some CS back, and possibly even take the blue buff if he wanted to, if he went ahead and rushed it, and he'll get some bot damage tower as well. So it's a lot to commit for just the one kill. It would have been nice if they would have got the Janna as well, but I mean, I guess at this point you're going to take some small trades, but they need to try to hold their towers, or it's going to get even worse for them, and they can't get to the mid game.
Yeah, I agree with you. OC Nation seemed like they're really understanding how to trade across the map, like with their objectives, with their macro focus, and they understood like, hey, bot lane needed to get ahead, Sejuani camp bot. They understood that, hey, we need to transfer our bot lane lead into the mid side of the map, into the top side of the map, and then go ahead and do that. Slight misstep with the overextension, but overall, I think it was a really well played game from OC Nation.
Yeah, OC Nation's playing the map really well. They have their bot lane ahead, and they're taking advantage of that fact. They haven't been able to, GVG hasn't really been able to keep pushing that lead in the top lane, and he should honestly probably be going bot to get that tower and try to get the 1v1 going with the Fiora again, because he can still win that matchup for another item or two. But the longer the game goes on, the worse that's going to get for him, and he honestly should probably go on a Bramble Vest over the Spectre's Cowl. I'm not sure what he decided to go that for. I guess they have an okay amount of AP damage, but it's not consistent damage either, so I kind of disagree with that build choice.
As we take a look at items, we haven't done that in a little while. We see a whole item for Killjoy over his opponent Gertson. Jinx going with the Stormrazor. I know they did recently buff the interaction between that and her Fishbones rockets, but interrupt me please, C-Snatch, as you miss a Fizz ultimate. So back to what I was saying. Yeah, complete item lead. Already has the Bork and the Black Cleaver completed. Ton of CDR, ton of damage coming out from the Lucian. Fizz has the Proto Belt, has his stopwatch as well. Will be able to make some pretty spicy outplays if he chooses to use those actives. And Sejuani 1-0-5 is pretty tanky so far with those items. And somehow, even the Fiora is able to pick up some kills in that last team fight, and now she has her Ravenous Hydra. She can really start the split push now.
Yeah, she should still be able to like kind of compete against Darius, but I don't think she wins that matchup if they can get that 1v1, which is what GVD should be trying to do right now, because right now it's just kind of stalling out. I mean, he could just be grouping if they don't plan on trying to match the Fiora split push, but again, once she gets to that 3 items, it gets really hard to deal with as a Darius. But it kind of just looks like they don't really know what to do, and they're kind of all just A-ramming for Baron vision, but I don't think OC Nation could really do that right now, because they have an okay Baron. I don't think it's like a quick Baron take by any means. Lucian's only really one that does a ton of damage to Baron.
So I guess the question now is, if I'm Naughty Nips, how do I stall out this game and try and come back here?
So I think, at least for now, they need to match this Fiora with the Darius, because he can still win that, especially since he's still up a kill, and most likely about a 500 to 1,000 gold. So he can still win that matchup again until the 3 items. So you take Darius bot, and then you just keep, just allow, it looks like they're maybe trying to do the 1-3-1 now, but you just try to keep matching as much as you can with the Darius bot, and then just matching the 4. They have no objectives to take right now besides the Drake coming up in 30 seconds.
Yeah, right now OC Nation completely positioned around the dragon, maybe trying to get a little bit of a reset off before it goes ahead and spawns, but as we can see, Naughty Nips in no position able to take anything on the map right now. They're having to go as a group simply to get the buffs. So they're going to start funneling a lot of this farm into Gertz, and they're letting him pick up the bot waves as they push in. GVG trying to catch back up in CS as well, and then is on full farm duty right now.
Yeah, and it's not like really OC's doing much to stop that. They're just kind of take the free Drake, but the Drake's an ocean, so it's luckily not that big of a deal for NN. And NN is just keeping decent vision up, keeping it hard for them to get caught out, and they're playing safe. So, I mean, if they just keep funding that gold into Victor and Jinx, eventually they're going to get really strong and outscale the Fizz and Lucian.
Yeah, it seems like this game is going to get pretty much blown wide open, depending on who's able to get control over that Baron, and whether OC Nation's able to get a pick off with their comp.
Yeah, I have no idea why Darius is top. There's no tower to take. Like, in Fiora's bot, like, what are you, like, are you going to try to do Baron? I don't think you're going to do Baron at this point when you're this far, when you're a little bit behind. So, like, I just don't get why he's top. He's kind of just letting Fiora get items at this point, just allowing her to free farm bot.
I think he's top simply because he doesn't have teleport yet, but with it coming up in about 10-20 seconds, they should start rotating him to the bot side, because like you said, Fiora's just been able to free farm for a little bit here, and in a couple seconds, she'll be completely caught up, if not ahead, of the Darius.
Yeah, I get why, like, without being TP, but they had, like, Jinx bot lane, so you have somebody else with, oh, I guess she had TP up. I forgot they had 3 TPs on their team. But, I don't know. I don't even know if they can really do Baron. Like I said, they have a pretty weak, slow Baron besides the Lucian. Like, Sejuani and Fizz and Janna aren't going to really do a lot of damage to Baron, so that Baron would be pretty slow, so they can even respond to that by, like, just having the 3 or 4 members that are still there, kind of poking them down, especially with Victor and Jinx with the long range, Morgana bindings, trying to catch somebody out and just kind of poking and prodding at them, especially since Baron got rebuffed to where it's a little bit stronger early game now.
All right, we do see the Darius now back into the bottom lane. Both top laners level 13. I will be very excited to see if they still decide to 1v1 each other, because I know Big Play, if there's anything he wants to do, it's completely 1v1 the Darius. So will he be able to get the outplay? That is the big question for OC Nation.
I think he honestly probably can. With Darius' build, I'm really questioning the build path here. Oh, looks like there's an engage.
While we have it engaged on the top side of the Baron, the Sejuani ultimate goes huge, tries to catch out Blight, but meanwhile C-Snatch catching out the support completely on the other side of the fight, one-shotting the Morgana, and he's able to pick up the solo kill, and they're not done. He is able to get the flank and continue going, picks up a double. Blight 1v1ing the jungler, tries to get something back for NN, and GVG saying, hey man, I really want to win this game. He does have the reset available if he's able to get onto Killjoy, but he is too fast. But Blight going with the flash knockup, they are able to pick up another kill. Will they continue to chase down the Janna? They will not, because meanwhile, look at what's happening in the bot lane. Fiora is tearing open the base. She is free hitting right now onto the inhibitor tower. The rest of Naughty Nips is trying to respawn. They're trying to go ahead and stop what's left of their base, which looks like she won't be able to take much, actually.
Yeah, in that fight, I only had 2 problems. I had problems with the Kayn chasing the Sejuani when I think he could have cut off the bot lane for OC Nation and just made that a clean 2 kills right there, and then possibly even done the Baron if not as many people died or got so low. And then also the Fizz just going for Morgana with like all of it. I believe he used ult on her as well. And she's so weak right now at 0-6 and has no Zanyas or anything to really help her team that I think he should have been focusing more on the Jinx and the Victor instead of taking her out first, like while his team was fighting.
Yeah, but overall, what that really means for OC Nation is they kind of lose a couple kills, a lot of the gold gets reset, maybe a couple shutdowns going to the side of NN. As we can see, it's only a 3k gold difference, which isn't the biggest deal, although it is a sizable lead, mainly onto the Lucian for the side of OC Nation. So they have to be really careful here that they don't continue to kind of throw their lead around this Baron pit. We see the ultimate from C-Snatch going down onto Blight, but he is not able to one-shot him. The Zanya's coming out, the ultimate damage will not be able to come through, but Blight is healing so much through this fight. I don't think he's going to be able to get out, and he is not. C-Snatch goes ahead and takes him down on the same side, but this is what I'm talking about, throwing around the Baron. The jungler goes ahead and dies as well. Team not grouped together. For some reason, the AD carry and the top laner were both bot side, and this is going to mean Baron for Naughty Nips. And this is what I was talking about, Naughty Nips picking it up in the mid game. They're going to go ahead, Jinx free autoing onto the Baron at 25 minutes. They're actually doing this really slow. It is possible for Lucian and Fiora here to go ahead and collapse. We see them coming up through the river. Janna is trying her best to slow the damage. They're actually not even going to be able to finish this, as Naughty Nip's going to be able to turn. Big play going into the middle of the fight. Will she be able to take out GVG? She does! The healing from the ultimate starting to take effect. That's a double kill for Big Play. He flashes out of the Victor ultimate. He doesn't go for the triple, but they run from the bottom side of the map all the way to the Baron. They stop the Baron, and OC Nation salvages the game.
Yeah, it just took them way too long to do that Baron. It was an okay call. I think they needed to rush it immediately first instead of even doing the scuttle. And as soon as you realize that you weren't going to be able to finish it in time, you needed to bail off that because you had your no jungler, so it wasn't even a safe Baron. And like you said, it was just taking them way too long to do.
Well, Blight getting caught out here trying to go for the wave clear. save his tier 2 mid, and he ends up falling for it. Killjoy with the Bork, with the red buff. He's actually just going to be able to heal up to full here if he doesn't get touched. Gravity Field getting too far up. He doesn't have Flash. This is what I was talking about. Cleanse instead of Teleport. And he just gets engaged on and dies. Knight's Vow going down onto Killjoy. If you thought he was hard to kill before, he's a lot harder to kill now. Naughty Nips starting to really funnel in one by one, getting picked off from the composition of OC Nation, and they're starting to look around the Baron now.
Yeah, they just kind of ran one by one into the mid lane and just entered, and you got Blight pulling a Gimpy and just trying to clear the wave, but he's just getting killed while he's trying to do that. So we'll see if they can steal the Baron here.
Did you see the Fizz ultimate going down? Oh, the Mother Beep and Meow! She isn't able to do anything, and she gets completely assassinated by the Fizz. But that is a huge source of damage down for the side of OC Nation. We do see GVG trying to come on to the flank here. The Janinator does go wide, but they are slowing him up. She does still have the ultimate available if she decides to use it. Blight maybe trying to go in for the steal here. Will they be able to do anything? GVG gets completely assassinated by the Fiora. The damage is there. She has scaled. She's hit the item threshold that you were talking about. And Blight, although they did kind of delay the Baron, they really just give up 2 more kills.
Jinx ulti here might be a little dangerous. We'll see if she's able to pick up one. Nope.
Isn't able to pick it up. The healing is coming through.
That was close, though.
That was extremely close, but the smite does come through for the Sejuani, and actually she didn't even smite.
Yeah, that was really close. That was like that was bang bang kind of play. But luckily she didn't come across and get that. That would have been huge for Naughty Nips to steal. But Naughty Nips is just kind of, their macro game is usually pretty good, and now they're just kind of like, oh, going in here, going in there. And they almost were able to stall. They should have just let OC Nation, because they were having a hard time finishing the Baron just like they were. So that you just wait a little bit longer, kind of poke and prod with them, and then just go for an even still or something. Darius went in a little too early, which just got bursted out immediately, and then they had losing numbers, so they weren't going to win that once Darius insta-died.
Yeah, these fights have been very back and forth. It seems like Naughty Nips just extending a little bit too much, and then OC Nation kind of regroups. They get their footing back, and then they kind of just steamroll from there. We see them now taking their second Ocean Dragon. Will be able to help with the Baron Siege right now, getting so much regen from the 2 Oceans and the Baron. So what do they decide to do? We see most of them grouping up into the bottom lane right now.
Yeah, Fiora is very close to that 3-item point, and since GVG decided not to go Thornmail, it's going to be insanely hard for him to compete with Fiora now. So I really disagree with the Dead Man's play. Not sure why, if he's just kind of stuck in a build path, but he should have 100% gone Thornmail to help him deal with this Fiora, even after the 3-item spike. So that's going to be a very rough lane, especially with Baron buff, for him to stop her pushing. But then the OC Nation Lucian's just so far ahead of Jinx. She needs like another probably 5 minutes plus to get online, get that 3rd item, and really be a problem.
Oh, we just see this. This is not going well for GVG right now. She is 2 levels above the Darius, taking a lot of tower damage. But, alright, so the ultimate will wear off. GVG might live to see another day. He's trying to clear out the waves as fast as he can, but with the Baron, with the Fiora poke, with the rest of the team sieging into the bot side, it doesn't seem like these towers are long for this world.
No, she messed up there. She could have definitely had Darius. She just missed her autos and canceled them. And then, yeah, she took too much tower damage, so she safely just kind of said, okay, I need to get out of here before I just end this death.
Alright, so, I mean, yeah, the 2-level lead for the Fiora, down to 1 now, but
there it is,
doesn't seem to matter at all. She goes ahead, dives him under the tower, so much healing, so much damage as this Baron Siege continues to go. We see Killjoy going aggressively, dashing forward to get the last hits onto the tower. The Jinx ultimate hitting him, and Mother Beep and Meow, this is gonna be another death. 0-9 for the Morgana. Sejuani ultimate goes a little bit wide, but I think it did the job it needed to do. Gets the flash out of Gertson. No damage really with the items that he has currently, and it does it. Everyone's flashing forward. I think they want to end the game right now while Baron's still alive. Will they be able to? The bottom lane inhibitor is going down. Fiora gets the top inhibitor tower. She's gonna start taking down the top inhibitor. She can kind of just group with her team at this point. All that's left is Blight. It looks like this is going to be an OC Nation win. They're taking a little bit too much damage. Will they be able to get it? The first Nexus tower is going to go down. The second Nexus tower is going to go down as he picks up some CS to boost the stats. And GVG, although he's back up, it doesn't seem like it's going to matter. OC Nation is going to pick up a pretty clean 31-minute victory over Naughty Nips.
Yeah, the bot lane there is what Spider out of control. They could never get Lucian back under control. He just kind of just he did so much damage throughout that game that he was the biggest problem they couldn't deal with. They also kind of messed up some of the macro play in the mid game, like you said. That's where they usually excel. That was not where they were strong today. They had the one great play where they got the picks and they started to do Baron, but then it ended up backfiring because they were doing it way too slow.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like that game was really just tug and pull, back and forth, top lane winning, bot lane winning, teams trying to get their advantages into the other side of the lane. We saw the teleports not really working out for Naughty Nips, I think, was a big part of that game, considering all the lanes were very fight heavy, and them having the summoner disadvantage really didn't work in their favor. The teleports look cool when they do it in the LCS, but when Fizz is on top of you, you kind of need some sums.
Yeah, they definitely that came to back to bite them. They never once really used that for a great macro play that stood out to me. There was many times where probably could have saved them having cleanse, having barrier, having heal, any of those defensive or even exhaust. They had no exhaust in the team as well, so that really kind of hurt them. But they also came back like the Fiora, like I said earlier, the Fiora ended up being able to kind of stop the bleeding and just being able to kind of build up those items. Where we saw she eventually solo killed the Darius in her tower, and the bot lane of Naughty Nips was not able to stop the bleeding. They kind of just kept letting it kept getting worse. We have Mother beeping me out with 0-9. That's a rough one. It's Gurkson with no kills, 0-4. And then Vaso even kind of had like an awkward, he kind of suffered from the bot lane kind of being super behind and kind of got drove out because of that. Because Blight in the jungle kind of went kind of even. I would even say Blight was probably more impactful. But then the Victor and the Fizz, Fizz was able to get so many free kills on Mother Beeping Meow and Gurkson that is kind of let Vaso kind of get suffer for it.
Yeah, once Naughty Nips comps fall behind, you can't even blame Morgana too much. No one else is going to be going to get the vision. Somebody has to be in the front of the fight, and it just happened to be the Morgana more times than not. So it's just the comps kind of just played against each other. The early game comp of OC Nation ended up snowballing, and then Fiora got online and helped carry them in the later half of the game. We take a look at the damage here. No surprise. Lucian coming out on top. Fiora not too far behind, though, even after the abysmal laning phase. So that is just don't give Fiora over to OC Nation. Seems like the moral of the story here.
Yeah, GVG knows how to play the lane, but it clearly showed that he was not really sure what to do with that huge lead he had, because he definitely could have helped pressure more when it was only 20 minutes or less in the game, or 25 minutes even. Really nothing happened after he had those 3 kills back to back to back, and then it just kind of stalled out, and that's like I was saying, she just scaled out, and just he kind of built poorly in my opinion as well, and that just made it even worse for him past those 3 items.
Yeah, I again completely agree with you here. As we take a look over to the most important stat, vision score, really seeing who decided to shine here. Pretty surprising actually from the side of OC Nation. 38 vision score from the AD carry, one of the highest I think we've seen from that role. 68 coming out from the support, 48 coming out from the jungler. Really vision heavy focus. Really, sorry, that's not English. Vision focused team, I guess. Yeah, putting a lot of resources into the vision. Obviously, it helps when you're winning, but overall, you can see it helps.
Yeah, overall, both teams not too bad. Gorson with a pretty low comparison, but both teams placed a decent amount of wards. I really actually like Naughty Nips' control of top side when Baron was the objective for play, but overall, both teams did a solid job with wards.
Yeah, and our one goose egg of the game, Goertzen, coming out with the 0 control wards purchased. Might have helped a little bit when the Sejuani decided to flash on you guys twice, but it's okay. There's always another game where you can buy another pink ward. So that pretty much wraps it up as we're going to send it over to our next game here in a couple minutes. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you, Rutledge, for casting.
No problem. It was a great time.
Still as a breeze, a river flowing deep. Don't wanna leave the air you breathe. Living vivid dreams when I think of you and me. Don't wanna leave the world you see, and I will hold you down if love is still alive. It's all forgiven to my eyes. The tide has turned around. Just listen to the sound. Two hearts beating listen to the sound, two hearts beating, beating time. Hey yeah, hey yeah, hey yeah, hey yeah, hey yeah. Don't break it down, you and your wicked ways. You and your wicked ways. You and your wicked ways. Turn around, just listen to the sound. Two hearts beating, beating time. Hey yeah, hey yeah, hey yeah, hey yeah, hey yeah. Don't break it down, you and your wicked ways.
I can only imagine how it is to be with you. From the first day I saw your face, I knew this love was true. But you already taken, nothing I can do. So I can only imagine how it is to be with you. I can only imagine us both loving through the night. I can only imagine us together side by side. I can only imagine we're dancing in the moonlight. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I want to know if you will be my favorite song, my little melody. If we could be a symphony, then we would be a perfect harmony. I don't want to live this way. I really wish we never knew. Out of sight and out of mind, I don't want to be with you. But the next time I saw your face, nothing I can do. I just have to face the truth. All I want is to be with you. I can only imagine us both loving through the night. I can only imagine us together side by side. I can only imagine we're dancing in the moonlight. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I want to know if you will be my favorite song, my little melody. If we could be a symphony, then we would be.
Oh,
Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words to say the words to remember. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. We lose it all. Feel it in your arms, feel it in your legs, feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go, just let your body go, just let your body go and move to the rhythm. Now we won't go back home today, until the very last hour. We still got few more days to slay, it's gonna get so much louder. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. Lose it all. Feel it in your arms, feel it in your legs, feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go, just let your body go, just let your body go and move to the rhythm.
Hello and welcome back to Duo Esports BSGCS. We are in week 5, day 4. It is me, Voslo. I will be your color caster today, and joining with me will be play-by-play Stoned Poet.
What's going on, folks? How's everybody doing today?
Oh, I'm pretty excited for this game. How you feeling about it?
Should be a very interesting game. Yet again, a buddy of mine is on one of the teams. His name is Starstro. Looking forward to see his plays and see how he plays in a support position.
That'll be really good fun. I really like what he does. Him and Shuno have a very aggressive bot lane, and it's something that I expect to see done here. The bot lane playing very aggressive all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Any fun matchups you expect to see? Maybe some champion picks that you've seen?
I've said it before. Right now, with the way this meta is, I'm very interested to see what teams decide to use the funnel strat. Also, too, with Jinx getting that quality of life buff on this latest patch, very interested to see who decided to pick her up and notice those nice little changes and see how people have kind of decided to counter those changes that she did get.
Absolutely. And I totally expect to see either some form of pick or ban on Lucian and Braum against EG or for EG. They really love that bot lane. They play it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a strong bot lane. Very aggressive. Definitely snowbally, and great level 1 potential.
Absolutely. And as we get into champion select right now, OC Nation starting it off. Well, I don't know what I expect to see banned here. Oh, there is the Wukong. Immediately give it banned away from Difurian. Want nothing to do with that pick in the mid lane. And the Fiora ban too. Not wanting to play against big play Jadway's Fiora. Interesting so far.
I'm interested to find out that this man's playing Wukong in the mid lane. That's a bit of a surprise for me.
He played it yesterday and completely smashed. Went 10-1, I believe, 20 minutes in.
Whew.
He had a good time, and we do see a Kled ban as well against Big Play Jadway and a Trundle ban against Chris Brown's not really wanting to deal with that and maybe looking for another tank jungle as we saw last game.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting, these bans. I'm guessing they're very much so targeted because you don't really see those too much out in the solo queue world. Fiora is a very, I would say, a niche champ as well as Kled. So definitely I'm going to say those are some target bans there.
Absolutely Big Play being a high believer in the Kled and the Fiora. Played them both a lot. And Graves ban again against Chris Brown's. Bit aggressive, not really wanting to deal with that. A good early game jungler that can do very well into a lot of tank matchups. And one last ban coming from EG, and what will it be? I'm expecting another ban against Big Play, to be entirely honest. And it's the Yorick, just what I figured it would be. We banded ourselves in the game before, and we have our first pick for OC Nation.
Definitely
I'm wondering if
liking
they're
a triple ban on the top laner here. Definitely respecting that he's one of their strongest players and making sure he's put onto his about 4th, maybe even 5th best.
Absolutely, and we do have the Lucian first pick. Makes sense here, taking it away from Shuno. Shuno performing pretty admirably on the champion overall. His laning phase is really good. Shuno having a good idea and understanding of the champion. Starstro usually picking up the Braum with it. I'm pretty excited to see what will happen. And we do have EG then opting for the Ezreal first pick, it looks like. And it is locked in, maybe just not yet, soon, very much. There it goes. Come on, there it is.
All right. Also, too, very surprised that they did not ban out Starstro's Rakan. Maybe he has not been performing as well on it, but I know this man on the Rakan is very, very scary and very nasty.
So far, I've seen good things. He's opting a lot for this Braum pick. It's very, very strong in the bot lane. He's been playing very well on it. It's very, very aggressive, and it's something that they can do to deny a lot of enemy AD carries, especially because he's been playing it very well. So it's something that I really, really like.
I know Starstro is a type of person who does like those aggressive supports. So him picking up Braum is not a surprise at all. I'm a big fan of the tank supports as well, and Braum is just a lot of fun. His shield provides a lot of just utility, blocking so much damage from your allies. The stand behind me, nice little boost stat, and then just that passive on him is just so obnoxious once you start stacking it on top of multiple people in those big team fights.
Absolutely, and we do see the Sejuani picked up for Drakenrich. Makes sense, saw it last game, performed pretty well on it, and Orianna for C-Snatch, going for a pretty safe laner, not opting for something aggressive like the Fizz again. Didn't really like the way that lane turned out the last time, despite the fact that they banned the Wukong, which had played into a Fizz normally.
Indeed. Orianna, I'm kind of liking this pick here. Sejuani can kind of play as a ball delivery system. I am interested to see what they will pick.
Ooh, Skarner on the opposite side. Now, I love me some Skarner. I don't know about you, but oof.
Another good champion for the jungle. Can be pretty tanky. Provides, again, that utility that Ezreal is going to want. It's definitely being able to hold those enemy champions like the Lucian and Orianna down and just snowballing them and getting him those free kills that he needs.
Skarner having a lot of CC lockdown, being very good, and we do see a Shen ban and an immediate Gangplank ban against Night Show.
Just very interesting. Very surprised they wouldn't want to try to pick up this Shen for themselves. Be very strong in the team comp that they're building right now.
Yes, I agree. They have a pretty good front line that's coming out. The good ball to Sejuani and lots of armor that'll be coming out. I don't know what else we see. Oh, and a Jax ban. More bans against Big Play Jadway. Interesting.
They spent all of their bans on the top laner.
Well, Comat Killer also plays a lot of Shen. I don't know if that's just his main pick or anything like that, but he plays a lot of it in the support role.
Okay.
So it's a kind of a double ban.
All right. And with that, we are going to final out the bans with Jace. Have been seeing Jace recently in my solo queue. He seems to be pretty strong. Since I've seen him, he hasn't been doing too hot. But with that, we are going to get the Darius. And the real question is, does he have the God Darius skin?
That's the real question. It's a beautiful skin. It looks fantastic, and the animations just feels so good when you hit all the animations.
Indeed, it does.
And I like the Jace ban here. Night Show is actually, I believe, his most played champion, and I believe his favorite. So it's something that he does like to play. He did pull it out yesterday along with the Wukong mid, and to great success. And we do see a Renekton into the Darius lock-in.
I like the Renekton, very strong right now. He definitely one of those people that can abuse Essence Reaver, with the way it works now. So definitely a good pick. Very strong early game, very good bullier. I don't know how well he does against Darius. I feel that's kind of a skill matchup. I could be wrong, but it'll be very interesting to see.
The way it works is that Renekton level 1 and 2 just loses to Darius, but when Renekton is level 3, he wins the combo, as Darius doesn't get as much with levels, and Renekton gets really strong, and when he has all
Okay.
3 of his abilities, so he's easily able to play around a lot of Darius's damage and his Decimate and his Apprehend, so it works out very well. But we do see a Bard last pick for OC Nation, and maybe an Azir for Diffurion, and an Azir Birdman coming in hot in the mid lane for Diffurion.
So right now, from the look of this, I definitely like EG's comp. Definitely synergizing around the Ezreal and the Darius. Seeing that you have such an amazing front line with the Braum, Skarner, and Darius there, Ezreal and Azir will be somewhat safe to do a lot of their free range damage. And for the side of OC, I kind of like their comp, but it just feels very solo Q-esque, I would
They
say.
have a lot of their lockdown is very single target. Sejuani's Glacial Prison will be giant AoE slew, but can only stun one person. Renekton only has one person stuns. Bard can only really stun 1 to 2 people, maybe.
Mhm.
And then we do have the Orianna Shockwave. We do have a decent ball delivery system coming in with this. Sejuani can also put it on the Renekton. So I don't think it's a bad composition by any means. I really like what'll happen. Renekton does have the winning lane in the top lane. Orianna and Azir, I don't know the matchup entirely, but I believe that in recent Orianna nerf with the duration to the shield, I believe Azir can outpoke if the Azir is good enough at the champion. And in the bot lane, we have Lucian, Bard, and Ezreal Braum. And that
Yeah.
is, I'm pretty sure, favored early to Lucian level 1 to 2. Ezreal doesn't output as much DPS as a Lucian Bard will, but they are safer. And as long as they don't die, I believe as the lane gets closer to 6, the stronger those champions will get.
Agreed. Only thing I'm really looking or thinking about is the fact that if this Ezreal does decide to go that double tier build that people tend to build on him, he will be early on will be kind of weaker towards the Lucian, seeing that Lucian will opt in to build for that Essence Reaver early on, because he's again another one of those champions that can abuse the new Essence Reaver. So Ezreal is going to have to play this lane a bit safer. But seeing that Braum is there, he may tend to be a little more aggressive. I don't know. Haven't really seen Shuno play that much to really say what kind of a AD carry he is. But looking at the summoners, it looks like the Lucian Bard plan on being aggressive. Seeing that Bard is taking Ignite, and I would not be surprised to see Bard with Electrocute. Braum is opting in for the exhaust, which I do like since there is a Renekton and Lucian. Kind of slow him down, mitigate some of that damage. And looking at Azir, he also took Ignite, wants to be very aggressive, while Orianna is sitting on Ghost. Something I haven't really seen mid laners take for quite some seasons now, actually. So very intrigued at this and wonder how that will be played out.
My mid laner, Akarshian, plays a lot of Azir. Loves the champion. It's fantastic. He highly believes that the aggressive early game of Azir is really underestimated. He really likes going Ignite because it has a lot of burst potential, which nobody's prepared for. If you can get a good little AP item and then just come into the lane swinging, and going Ignite to finalize kills because you don't have the most effective CC or anything like that early game, so it's really good. But you have good damage and good poke, especially if people underestimate you. So it's something
Indeed.
that he really believes in.
Definitely going to be looking forward to seeing this Azir, especially once he starts getting that Nasher too. He's really going to be unloading a lot of damage with those soldiers. And definitely want to see how he plays with his towers, because a lot of people kind of forget about that passive of his, that he can rebuild towers momentarily. So him building a tower in the middle of a team fight can definitely turn the team fight around if played properly.
It's very, very good. It's a very strong ability. The passive is amazing. It's also very good for siege scenarios if you're able to put up a turret behind you that can block off flanks, because pretty much Renekton and Sejuani really want to get a flank onto the Azir, because denying him his free damage, same thing with the Ezreal, is very important to their composition. As right now, Darius, Skarner, and Braum have this massive front line that are just going to stand in front of them and just be like, "Whoa, what do you want?" They can block off sides. Skarner really hoping to get a good pick for somebody that steps too far out of line. A good Predator engage with a good Fracture would be very, very good to get good stuns off.
Definitely, I'm really interested, especially for these team fights, because these team fights are going to be crazy. Definitely going to have to see exactly how Skarner targets and who he targets, because I feel like if the Renekton gets ahead and he somehow pulls the Renekton in, Renekton is just going to enjoy it. Same with Sejuani. So like he only really has about maybe two, 3 targets if you include the Bard, but he mainly wants the Lucian and Orianna. And Darius does not have the God Darius skin, so shame on him.
Absolutely, shame. He does. I like Lord Darius personally. Obviously, God King is the best and fantastic skin. And nothing really too out of the ordinary I see in these picks and bans. Nothing really weird on the.
Very surprised though Renekton is not running Conqueror as well, though. He is running press. Yeah, no, that's not press hits. Yeah, that's press hits. Excuse me. Oof. I gotta learn my pictures.
I highly agree with this scenario. Renekton really liking press the attack. It's really, really good on him. Can almost immediately proc it with an enraged W. And if you don't have an enraged W, you can always auto W, and you can just basically immediately proc it, get your Q, E off, and then E away, and it's almost a free trade every single time. It's pretty good early game into the Darius. Darius opting to probably go into a Black Cleaver early game, may also go Sterix Gauge or something like that, not really opting for too many defensive stats. So Conqueror isn't as useful on the champion of Renekton if he can just immediately proc press the attack, just do massive amounts of damage to the Darius up front and dissuade him from fighting.
All right, definitely like that. And as people are starting to load into the game, we don't have anything too crazy. No dematerializers, no stopwatches coming out from anyone. So standard game, but let's see if we get a 5-point start or if we get a cheesy level 1 invade.
Using the Braum. Nightshow a little bit late though on the uptake. Maybe looking to see if there's an invade, maybe looking for somebody to do something silly. Nightshow walking into an aggressive pathway, really. There is a Dark Draken. Oh, Nightshow did show. That's very awkward. Didn't mean to do that. I'm assuming a misclick.
Oof. Say Braum did try for something, but does not get anything. Azir throws up the soldier to kind of back him off, and not too crazy going on right now. A little sad. Darius kind of pooched on that one, showing himself a little too soon, and didn't get any level 1 cheese.
Nothing really too big going on. They do see the Orianna ball. They do see Nightshow again walking towards that push. Pretty much at this point in time, just getting the free 15 gold from the Spires is pretty important too. The Skarner really liking that, giving them lots of mobility along the map. Darius not really looking to do too much. Ooh, big play does get a little bit of poke. Ooh, I'm sorry, I'm not play-by-play this game.
Oh no, you're fine. Oh, poke. And with that standard jungling, getting a little help from their bot laners, and off into the lanes we should be going.
Nothing crazy, just basic jungle starts. Pretty much what I expected. You got tank junglers. Ooh, and Braum even giving a little bit of an extra leash, a little bit of love.
Real question is, who do you think's going to get first blood?
First blood, it's going to be in the top lane. It's a very aggressive
nice
lane.
stun coming out from the Bard, but doesn't really get anything too from it because Lucian was too busy farming. But very nice damage, especially with that electrocute.
Yeah, early game Bard, level 1, level 2, that champion is nutty. His level 2 spike isn't as strong as others, but his level 1 makes up for it really hard.
And it looks like it's about for the Scuttler, and Skarner does get Sarah for himself, so victory for him.
Nice. Yes, Dipurian did roam down, was able to help him with that. Drakenrich just has to immediately respect that.
Ezreal's not having a good time.
No. Ezreal doesn't have a great time in this lane level 2 or 3. And that's pretty much what I expect. Bard is an immense amount of damage early game. It's super unexpected.
Also, too, I feel like I don't know if he took second. I'm gonna check that out for a second, see if he took his essence shift. And yes, he did take that second, so he should be able to start juking a little bit more. But early on, he took a lot of damage, and right now he's gonna have to play very safe.
Playing behind his tower, he does have his Mystic Shot, which will help him farm very easily under tower. It won't be too bad. Looks like Starstar did miss that cannon. Awkward.
Indeed. But he also is running Klepto, so he will be getting those random items as biscuits, mana potion, health potions, and such. So his sustain won't be too horrible, but he is looking right now at a deficit, sitting 9 CS behind and has already chubbed a health pot.
Yeah, Killjoy and Colemat just using the lane bullies that they have right now, getting a strong lane presence. Chuno liking to play aggressively in and of itself. He took a Cosmic Binding, so he's not looking too hot right now. Pretty much just wants to sit here until he gets his tier and then back on it. And that's all that he wants to do. He doesn't really care too much about fighting them.
Which, I mean, honestly makes sense, you know? He wants to get the CS so he can get his tier and then stack that immediately. Definitely so he can kind of get that power spike and get out of this horrendous laning phase that he is dealing with right now.
I just can't wait to see where the junglers go, see who does the first gank, tries to get something. I don't know if they're going to power farm till 6. Skarner having a decent gank potential at level 3 with all of his abilities. Sejuani as well, but doesn't really opt for it at this point in time, so
Looks like
maybe going for
Sejuani
this
is
long-range gank.
doing a little bit of either going in for a gank or is deciding to put some vision down, but there are some wards there, so Sejuani will get spotted out. Yep, there it is. Couple of pings. Darius decides instead of back, will go back towards his tower and back.
Good vision control, able to recognize that he is pushed up far, wants to abuse this Renekton, doesn't get caught out. We do however see Hyperion.
Oh wait, never mind. Sejuani is coming in for a gank onto this Azir. Does get a little bit. We'll be able to get the proc. Dice stun. Gonna take a little bit of tower damage, but is not able to get the kill. And Azir trades in tons of damage on his Orianna. So both their health bars are looking fairly low. Skarner is gonna come in. Can't really do too much. Just to kind of scare him away and backs off.
That was
Azir
not
is playing with fire right now. He should be backing.
He is, but there's a giant wave. Hyperion would really like to push this into the tower. See Snatcher pretty not able to trade aggressively. Hyperion
Looks like
did.
Skarner was spotted out. I don't know if this was actually something he wanted to do.
But there should be money in the bot lane because of this.
Yep, but he gets out pretty safely. Bard looks like he's still gonna be super aggressive, doing a lot of damage onto this Bard, but Sejuani is there to back him up. Wow, Braum came as well, but doesn't really get too much out of it and just kind of scares everyone off.
I think that was pretty good for Chris Brown, getting that vision control on their bot side. Able to, I don't know if he stole anything, but it was very good for them. Shuno and Starstro able to use. What was that?
I think he was just putting down vision.
Ooh, and we do have a trade in the top lane. Oh, never mind.
This is definitely not the way. Ooh, Braum is super low. Took a lot of damage from that Lucian and that Bard. He's gonna have to back. He doesn't have any more potions.
Oh, very sad indeed.
Everyone for the side of EG is super low on health bars right now, and they're just deciding to stay. I feel they're being a little bit too greedy, and one misplay will get them killed.
I think at this point in time, they're waiting
Oh,
for their
beautiful ult coming out from the Orianna, but the Azir wall saved them somehow, I believe.
I think it was he was able to use it to stop getting knocked up and knocked back. He was able to use it. I'm pretty sure during that time he's actually unCCable, like Lawi ultimate.
Okay. That was a very interesting interaction, something I'd never really seen before. Well played on the Azir for that.
Was able to keep him alive. Very nice on him. But as I was saying, they felt that they could be aggressive and low on HP bars in all the lanes, as they did have Vision of Drakenrich. They knew that he was kind of low, and he didn't really have much gank potential in most of the lanes. So that was pretty good for them, realizing that they could be out safely right now. There wasn't really too much aggressive unless they just disrespected their own laners.
Bard looking for a stun, but instead takes a Q to the face and decides to back off. Got a couple of chimes in his lane and will soak him on up.
Yeah, he just got to get the chimes, got to get up in there. Bard scales immensely well, does a lot of damage in the early game. His mid-game spike is a little bit weird, but he does have a great roaming potential. He's pretty strong in most stages of the game just due to his roaming potential.
And right now, looking at the CS difference, Lucian is definitely doing exactly what we thought Lucian would do. But we have a fight up in top lane. Darius is going to get an upper hand with a nice little spin, get a lot of damage onto the Renekton. The Renekton will back off.
Renekton didn't like his
Ooh, nice ult coming out from the Lucian. Braum can't really do too much, seeing that his shield is down. So Ezreal took a lot of damage. Ooh. Very well played from the Lucian, using that huge wave that he created. Oh, no. Nice wall. Nice ult coming out from the Bard. Bard gets the first blood. Feels good. Sejuani is down here right now, getting a little bit of tower damage, kind of trading that damage off. Bard is pretty healthy. He's going to take a couple of tower shots, pops off the heal to get himself safe. Does use their little tunnel to travel on down and get out safely.
Yes, that was
played by the Lucian and Bard.
Yes, Shino over there just going absolutely mad, decided to walk back towards the tower after Bard ulted it for some strange reason. Walked up, immediately gets stunned by the cosmic binding against the wall, gets
Mm-hmm.
it down, and just dies to the electrocute damage, completely disrespecting the Bard's damage at this point in time. It's absolutely massive. He does so much damage.
Yeah. But he is coming back to lane with a tier in Sheen, so he will have a little bit of a power spike now that he is taking a tier. Skarner is coming in onto this Renekton. Renekton did have to flash to get away. Azir's putting out a lot of damage out on this Orianna. Very nice. Fights all over the place. Nice gank coming from the Skarner, forcing out a flash.
Well done by Skarner. Just basically predatored in, didn't even do anything, just used his W, didn't flash. Just force big play Jadway to recognize
Ooh.
time you can't be walking up.
Oh, nice play from the Azir, but does get stunned by the Sejuani ult. Oh, beautiful ult coming out from Orianna. Oh, the soldiers pushing him into tower range. Is he going to be able to trade this kill? Oh, no. Oh, she got just out of tower range. Wait, minions?
Wait.
Minions OP, folks. That last auto attack from the minions got the kill. Got the trade as well. Feels good for the Azir, but he did die.
Absolutely well done by the Azir, able to just get those soldiers, just push them right into the tower, get both of them. The Empress of Eye being a very strong ability, pushing them both in, getting that trade kill for him was absolutely massive, and this is why you take Ignite on Azir, friends. Harshin would approve.
Ooh. I just feel bad for the Sejuani. Thought they got out of there safe and sound until that last minion auto attack.
Tanked minions, but after stopping to tank the tower, just a lot of extra damage that nobody really thinks about, not having her frost armor anymore. Just
Apprehend does land on the Renekton. Is gonna. Oh wait, Skarner is up here. Renekton is gonna ult. Darius has to flash out. Skarner's gonna pull him into tower. Nice, another spin to get a little bit of health back. Is Darius gonna ult here? Wait, Darius Darius decided to get the kill over to Skarner. That was very interesting.
I think he DC'd right there, and he did not have the mana for Noxian Guillotine at the time.
I think he honestly gave the kill over Skarner, but you are right. He did not have the mana. Oh, never mind. You are right.
Yes, it looks like he didn't have the mana. I don't know if he DC'd right there trying to ultimate. Maybe he was spamming the R button. He's like, why aren't I ulting? Why aren't I ulting? Not realizing they didn't have the mana. Very awkward indeed. And another duo esports pause.
I think that's just the curse. Oh, so he did
There it is.
DC slightly.
Absolutely, and at this point in time, I think it's a great time to start talking about builds and things like that, seeing what the people are building, what people are doing right, where I expect to see good pressure being put.
Very surprised that Azir did not opt in to get his Sting right away. Looks like he is opting in to rush that Luden's Echo as well as Orianna. And it does look like Sejuani did go for the Challenger Smite with Cinderhawk Jungle Trinket, as well as Skarner going for the usual Chilling Smite Cinderhawk build. And Renekton does have his T-Mod, so he is looking pretty nice right now. He did die, but does have a slight CS lead on this Darius. While Darius does look like he's opting in to build a Black Cleaver, maybe a Triforce, according to how he feels.
Yes, I agree. I'm assuming it's going to be Black Cleaver this game. There's a Sejuani on the field. Bard will eventually get some tanky items too, so it'll be a decently tanky. The Orianna E will provide so much armor later on in the game. Will be something that he'll really want to shred through. I assume it's going to be Black Cleaver. You never know. He could go for the Trinity Force.
Definitely hoping Braum does build himself a Locket here. Seeing that there is so much magic damage coming out from this Bard, especially with that Electrocute, and that Locket will definitely be useful in these team fights, especially with the Orianna, Lucian, and everyone else coming in, just trying to shred down that health. That extra shield will be very useful.
Absolutely, and I like the Azir build right now to go in the last chapter first. It's something that you really need on Azir. He does require a lot of mana to be able to push and manage out waves just like he really likes. Orianna as well. Very mana intensive champions really need that spike to do things. I also want to point out Chris Brown's is a massive CS lead over in the jungle.
Yes, he does. Almost double the CS of the Sejuani, despite the fact that he's done quite a few ganks here. So that just may be because of the simple fact that Skarner has a slightly better wave clear than the Sejuani at the moment.
Also, I believe Sejuani did waste a lot of time. She was camping inside of a bot lane brush for a very long time, did put herself a little far behind, and Chris Brown's has been a bit more efficient with his ganks.
Bard with Moby Boots, I will be expecting him to do a little bit more roaming. Does take a little bit of damage. Oh, beautiful ult coming out from the Bard. Braum throws out his ult as well. Whoa, Lucian, what was that? But you still get the kill. Wow.
It's not over yet.
Wait, is he gonna try to? Nope. Azir got it.
Furion, he's EQs forward to get that one auto attack, so he gets the kill. Killjoy trying to execute right there, or not execute, but at least like give the damage over to somebody else, so he doesn't get the assist. Furion does get the assist, get the full gold, gets a good shutdown bonus for that. 450 gold on him feels really nice, especially in Azir getting 2 kills early game, so you can start scaling is amazing.
Indeed. But I'm still confused about that Lucian ult.
Yeah, that was a little bit strange. The tempered fate over there was also a little weird, considering he landed it on Shuno as he had already prepped the True Shot Barrage, but still came out Comac Killer not really prepared for that damage that hit him right in his face. Almost killed him, to be entirely fair, and Shuno just decides that he doesn't have any summoners, he doesn't have his E, he already used it. So let's activate Comac Killer and take his life.
Very interesting, but like I said, he still got the double kill, so kudos to him.
And in the top lane, we
Ooh, nice! Oh, Skarner is here to counter the gank. Coming in hot. Nice dart. Darius gets super low. Skarner does suppress the Sejuani. Does get the kill onto Renekton. Sejuani is going to have flash out. Darius is super low. And Skarner gets the kill on Sejuani. Wow. That was wild, folks. Holy smokes.
That was fantastic. Watching Night Show prep the Nocturne Guillotine mid-stun. The Permafrost does land, but he had already used it. Nobody leaves vision, so he still gets to cast it. It's unstoppable during the cast.
Orianna did come up here. Skarner does not have his stun. Ooh, nice apprehend coming out from the Darius. Is going to do a little bit more damage. She is super low, but they're going to have to back off because that tower does hurt. Oh no, Skarner! Get away!
Oh no,
he
Minions
gets away
we've
nice
seen
and
both, but
safely.
he has a shield.
Ooh. That was
gonna
scary
say
for Skarner.
Was gonna say Minions, we've seen this story before, that one last auto attack coming through.
But did use the bush to protect himself, seeing that there was no wards in there, luckily.
Also,
So he
the
was nice and
crystalline
safe.
exoskeleton coming in clutch.
And it does look like both mid and top have swapped, so very interesting. Ooh, Bard again. Nice essence shift to avoid the ult from Bard. Braum does get a nice ult, knocks up the Bard. Lucian is going to ult to kind of back them off, saying don't touch my support, and is going to get stunned by the Braum passive. Gonna have to flash out there and pop his heal. Oof.
Really good
too
trade there.
aggressive from the Ezreal there.
I think it was fine. He was able to, he did, however, have to blow splash and heal, not feeling too safe as he started losing the trade. Starstro did back off a little bit far, not, I think, staying there with his AD carry, not trusting him in his call. It looked like I think Shinu and Starstro could have won that because Bard was off on the other side of the wave and Killjoy was tanking the wave and did force his heal so that he could get that going. But we do have another gank coming down the bot side.
Ooh, wait, oh, never mind. Yep, something spicy gonna happen here. Ooh, Skarner is coming down, does spot out some vision. It did just expire though, so they will clear it out, but there is still a ward there. Well, nope, Skarner decides to opt in and go for the scuttle, trying to keep that control of the dragon pit. Dragon has not been taken yet, and it is Ocean Drake. Something that... Ooh, Sejuani came down with the ult, but doesn't get anything. Misses it wide. Braum is going to get there. A lot of damage coming out onto this Bard. Bard will take his nice portal. Beautiful ult from the Orianna to make sure they can't follow suit and protect that Bard. Azir is looking for something, though. Will he get it is a real question. Nope, decides to back on off. Doesn't want to go in there, seeing that they are pretty healthy and probably have plenty of mana to counter him up.
Drakenrich going in for the long haul just to be just short just at the end, opts not to go for the Arctic Assault.
Ooh, nice apprehend coming out from the Darius. Darius does spin, doesn't really get much off of that. Renekton is super low, does have 4 stacks of Darius' passive on him. Skarner is going to run into Sejuani, but is going to pop his exoskeleton. Does have the Shrine passive, so he will have some extra little stats there to protect himself, and gets out safely.
Action everywhere on this map. Going absolutely insane.
Indeed. And even with all this action going on in the two kill lead that EG has, the gold lead is fairly even. They just pulled ahead with about 700 gold difference, but we all know in this kind of league with PSG, 700 gold is pretty much even, especially when it comes to the amount of throws that people can do here.
Absolutely. That was some crazy things. Sejuani just barely not getting the ultimate off there, opting not use the Arctic Assault to get a little bit closer and guarantee the hit. Goes for the max range, does not land. Shuno able to just kite out a little bit. Starstro will call off and did get, and then everybody just going for this big fight and just nothing really happening from it. A little bit of ultimates used, but I think all in all, EG come out pretty fine on that trade.
Indeed, and right now they are sitting in the driver's seat with this kill lead. Only thing, only thing they are missing right now is the fact that they need towers or get some dragon control here. Seeing that they don't really have a lot of wards sitting around the dragon pit, a couple of wards they do have the shrine, but right now I feel like they should be definitely targeting this bot lane, seeing that Ezreal and Braum are starting to hit that power spike. Wait, why is his shield backwards? Okay, very interesting.
Ooh, people just trading aggressively.
Orianna
Does get caught out on this board.
What? Oh, beautiful Sejuani. Patience is paying off for this Sejuani here. Darius has the flash. Will get out of there. Skarner and Azir are starting to roam up, but they will back off as well as Sejuani and the Renekton. But the only problem I have with this is that Sejuani is losing out on so much CS on the simple fact that she just stays in this top lane trying to get these ganks off. Azir does throw the ult, but doesn't really get anything out of it. But they will get a lot of damage onto this mid tower. It is super low.
Yeah, Azir's sieging is absolutely insane, especially if he has a little bit of help coming out. Just Night Show showing that like the Renekton matchup isn't very nice for Darius. Darius will eventually does outscale the Renekton just due to his capabilities of doing all this true damage and the Noxian Guillotine being very strong. Renekton wanting to build as much damage as possible.
Renekton is still sitting only on... Oh, wait, never mind. Azir does get a lot of damage. Orianna's going to trade that damage with some damage of her own. So they're going to have a gentleman's agreement and back off each other and continue to CS.
Jackurian just sees C Snatch looking like a C snack. Does have that blue buff. Really, really wants it on this Azir.
Indeed. But with that, Renekton's sitting still only on the T-Mod and some Ninja Tabbies. Oh, wait, Braum is caught out here. Sejuani, again, beautiful game. But Renekton's going to get a gank of his own. Does ult on to the Renekton. And going down to the Guillotine Chop. Beautiful play and flashes the mastery right at the end. Feels good.
Now, if only it was the God War skin, that would be the most impressive.
Ooh, nice Bard using the tunnel, but doesn't really get the stuff. Ooh, beautiful play from the Azir. But Azir is going to go down to the Sejuani at the end.
That was really, really sad. Dragon Nurse was able to get right inside of Azir's model with that flash, denying that E.
Oh no, first tower goes over to the Lucian. And his solo gold on it as well. Feels good. He is going to TP up into mid lane so he can protect that tower. Very smart play of him. Oh, wait, never mind. Sejuani does get a nice ult. He did get the apprehend. Sejuani is so tanky, though. He's going to take all those tower shots. Braum with a beautiful ult. Sejuani's going to have to... Oh, nice ult from the Bard to save his Sejuani and take some tower aggro in return. But Ezreal is up here. He is going to put out a lot of damage. Gets the kill on Orianna. He's going to keep going in. Wait. Oh, no. Sejuani, can you get out? Yep. Nice Arctic Assault, and you will get out safely. Beautiful ult from the Bard to say, never mind, Ezreal gets the kill.
Ooh, cheeky Shuno. Shuno with a great flank Ezreal play. Absolutely insane. And the real star they play with Starstar, that was absolutely insane by him to guarantee Nitro able to get all that safe damage down. But that Bard play to save all of his team's life right there was absolutely insane. That was a great Tempered Fate and a great Cosmic Binding to follow up, getting all those people stunned, getting the tower to re-aggro. Absolutely fantastic.
Looks like now they will be opting in for this dragon. And right now, Ezreal is slightly behind in CS, but he already has his Miramon, so he's already going to start stacking that up to get his Miramana. And once he gets that, he's going to be very scary because he will start building that second tier. And looks like he's opting in for the Iceborne Gauntlet, which I think is a very smart idea, especially with all the armor that he will be needing with these auto attack champions out there, minus the Orianna. Beautiful ult, flash ult coming out from the Skarner. Gonna do a lot. Azir, oh, beautiful play. Lucian did throw out his ult as well, but he is going to go down. The tower goes down. Azir gets a kill on Bard. Renekton gets a kill on Ezreal. Sejuani gets a kill on Azir. She actually gets a double kill. Beautiful play onto the Bard. Braum. Wow, I keep calling him Bard. And Skarner's going to have to scurry away. Does activate the Predator to try to get away, but the Arctic Assault will allow her to get some stuns onto the Skarner. Skarner's going to activate his Exoskin and will get out safely.
Oof, crazy plays from EG, thinking that they can do that right there. They had Vision, a big play, Jodway in the river, died to go for it anyways, go for the dive into a 4v5. Nightshot was back in base. You cannot take this fight in this 4v5. And then they split
He also didn't even have TP, so he wouldn't have been able to get that fight either way, unless he was run straight down to the bot lane.
Also, EG got a little bit split up in that team fight. Shuno got immediately collapsed upon by Big Play Jave, almost immediately instigating him in the fight in the Diffury, and just got completely collapsed upon by all four. There's not much else that Chris Browns can do. He used his ult to engage the fight, so it was just pretty hard. Starstro was in a pretty mixed spot. Do I help my mid laner? Do I help my AD carry? Both of them. It was really sad to see.
Yeah. And the main problem there is I honestly feel like he shouldn't have ulted the Bard.
I agree. Getting the Bard, trying to hope for that pick and then get that dive immediately afterwards. The tower did die at the beginning, but it was still 4v5. You knew Renekton was nearby. You had vision of him. There's like no reason to be going for that fight there.
Yeah.
It was just sad to see.
It was. And with that, Skarner does get his shrine, and it looks like he is going to go for this blue buff. Definitely going to try to start out this jungler and the mid lane, making sure they don't get these blue buffs so they can start spamming those abilities a bit. Ooh, barely misses the apprehend, but Renekton is going to get the stuff. Oh, nice ult onto the Renekton. Oh, nice ult from the Bard to save him. Got there in time. Nice stun onto the Braum, but his ult still goes out. Orianna gets a beautiful ult. Renekton goes down to the Ezreal. Sejuani gets a kill on the Darius. Orianna kills the Braum. And this Skarner is going to go down as well. Who gets a kill? And that is Orianna on this Skarner. This Bard with his ult is just creating, is just changing the tide on all of these fights. Because that fight was 100% theirs on that Renekton.
That's EG fighting 4v5 again, hoping to force it 4v4 immediately instant, giving the Renekton
and this is Baron.
abilities.
They are going to have to back off. Azir is there, and Azir will mess you up in that Baron pit. Oh, Sejuani's stuck in the wall. That's weird.
That pig feeling a little comfortable right there.
Yeah. But this Bard is changing the fight so quickly for these people just by that ult alone.
Spammable two-man stun is absolutely insane. Does a lot of damage as well. Really, really good at lots and lots of slows on repeat with all the nukes and chimes that he's able to collect. Really strong champion at this point in time. And
Wait, Azir, what are you doing? No! Why?
He thought he had enough mana to do his full combo in the Emperor's Divide, but did not have the mana for his Emperor's Divide and just completely died on the backside, thinking that he could catch as the kill.
Oh, wait, Sejuani is here. Gonna get an Alter Assault, is gonna have to back off, and Ezreal is nice and safe. Does use his ult to clear that wave, so they won't have a wave there to siege this tower. Ooh, nice ult onto the Zir. Does still get the Essence Ship, but was stunned, and is gonna be able to get out of there safely. Lucian does a beautiful ult. Orianna gets a beautiful ult, but doesn't get anyone in it. And down goes a Lucian onto this Ezreal. Was a little too aggressive there. Should have just went for the tower. Orianna does flash, does have Renekton and Sejuani there to keep her safe. Nice ult coming from the Bard, but doesn't catch anything, and it is a bust.
It was a good zoning ult from the Bard. Basically, if they kept continuing to chase at that point in time, they would have landed inside of the ultimate, or it would have been just on the tip to block them.
Ooh, nice double stun coming out from the Bard.
This Bard is playing like a monster right now. He's playing very, very well.
And they really need to get this tower. It's the easiest objective they have right now, but EG is defending it like a madman.
Absolutely trying their best at this point in time. At this point in time, I just really want to see EG actually get like a good 5v5 rather than these 4v5s. They keep initiating, deciding that they think that they can fight these, but then not realizing that there's somebody else that's off on the side, not even close.
And honestly, I just want to think that's mainly due to just communication skills from the side of OC Nation here. Ooh, gonna go onto the Braum, but doesn't really get anything. He doesn't stand behind me, get himself nice and safe. Ooh, a little bit of no stun from the Bard though.
Just looking aggressive, posturing at this
It
point.
looks like they will get this tower now. Ooh, Renekton does catch out of Skarner. Skarner isn't like your mind. Has to get the flash out of Renekton. Feels good and will back off that. Ooh, oh, wait, Skarner. Oh, nice. Grabbing the... Oh, nice ult coming out from the Orianna. Skarner did ult as well. Lucian gets a kill onto the Braum. Lucian's gonna pop his ult. Orianna gets a kill on the Skarner. Oh man, that fight definitely turned. Oh, beautiful Emperor's Divide. Oh, nice ult coming out from the Bard. Renekton does go down to the Ezreal. Ezreal's gonna throw out a lot of damage here. Azir is here. He's gonna throw out a lot of damage. Azir gets that Lucian. And oh man, Bard gets the kill onto the Azir, but Ezreal gets the kill on Sejuani. Holy smokes, this fight is a bloodfest. Am I watching the LPL right now? Holy
I don't even
smokes.
think it's over yet. Shuno, I think, still has blood in his eyes, thinking he can do something here.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like not. That was really, really sad. Shuno just barely missing the killjoy as he got out of the tempered fate did happen to get caught by the true shot barrage and died, catching 2 people with that. Shuno feeling pretty happy with that fight all in all.
Indeed.
But again, Skarner going for this engage onto somebody. He does get the good engage. It was on Killjoy, exactly who they want to be catching with the Impale. And Durian wasn't even there. He was pushing down the bot lane and had to roam from the tower.
Yeah. That was actually a very, very good play from the side of EG. Definitely turning that fight around. It's just, again, Bard is just, these Ultram Bard are definitely just saving his team.
Bard is game changing at this point in time. He's playing very, very well. I keep saying it. I just want to see EG pulling these fights really, really close. They're butting heads really, really well, but they're also playing them 4v5. They need to be playing them 5v5, and they can actually do something in these fights. You're getting good engages off. You're getting
Indeed.
catches, but nothing's really happening from it.
Looks like they're looking more for these skirmishes, but the problem is that while they look for these skirmishes, they are not able to really push because they don't have any real pushing champ. But with this, Bard is going to try to get a nice stun, doesn't really get anything off of it, and they are going to fight over this shrine here and does get it. And will clear out this pink ward and put a pink ward of their own. Ooh, nice double stun going on to the Skarner and Bard.
To the Darius flank too as well if they try to continue.
Oh. Okay. Awkward.
Bromwich just bited it over the wall, trying to get them to tank the Baron as they went for the ward, but they ended up getting stunned, and there was no follow-up to it.
Looks like I'm gonna fight for Baron here right now. No, it looks like
Wait a
the
minute.
side EG is already started,
Wait a minute.
and OC knows that they're there. Nice ult coming out from the Bard yet again, stunning up. Oh, beautiful ult coming from the Orianna. Nice assault from the Sejuani. Sejuani does get a kill on Skarner. Azir gets a knockup only on the Orianna and Sejuani. Does go down to the Orianna, and this fight is not going in their favor. Darius trying to do what he can, but does go down to the Lucian. Oh, nice flash coming out from the Braum, but still does go down, hoping to hit the blast cone for safety. And this is a Baron over to the side of OC Nation.
Absolutely, that was an absolute mistake. Knowing that there was vision there from OC Nation, doing the Baron in the face. You don't even have enough. You don't even have a fast.
Azir
Baron.
has ult. Oh, a little too premature. Bard is going to come in to try to stop him and backs him off. And this is their Baron.
Yeah, EG's making the silly calls, feeling like they can just go for the Baron. They're right in their face, their vision, they know about it. You can't do that. Tempered Fate exists, it's really good for long range catches, and then at this point, there's nobody on the field. There's nobody that can stand in front of the Fury to block any sort of damage or any sort of follow up. The Shockwave coming in clean and clutch as people tried to group up around Fury, and it was just exactly what they wanted. The immediate Shockwave just keeps everybody at this point in time just such a strong champion.
And he is sitting real pretty. He has his redemption now. Has his Macarel, I believe it's called. Mikhails, thank you. I always pronounce that item wrong. And it's sitting at 3, 2, and 14, so he's sitting pretty nice. Lucian did opt in for the Bork Black Cleaver, has now finished his Essence Reaver, so he will get that nice little power spike that he normally gets from Essence Reaver right now.
Yes,
The next thing, also sitting on his Essence Reaver and Black Cleaver, but still only has the Tiamat. Decided to kind of finish that item last. And with that, they will get Padre.
The Tiamat build, like usually you just want to sit on your Tiamat because if you starts to go tanky and you start to get more HP items, you'll end up getting a Titanic Hydra. But when you get a Titanic Hydra, you can't animation cancel your W anymore because it's on auto attack rather than an additional spell cast, so you can no longer immediate insta cast your Q after your W with a Tiamat proc.
Ah,
Fun
okay.
fact. Which is why most Renekton's will opt into a Ravenous Hydra so that you can still do your animation cancel and get HP elsewhere.
But with that single Q alone, Ezra is brought down to 25% health. Holy smokes. Oh, beautiful ult coming out from the Orianna to kill the Skarner. Is going to have to TP to save that tower up in the bot lane. Gets a nice apprehend onto the Lucian. Azir is here as well. Another TP coming in. Lucian's going to throw out the ult as well. Nice wall coming out from the Azir. But Azir is going to go down to the Lucian, and they still get this tower. Oh, Lucian is like, hey, I'm still here. Gets a beautiful play onto the Darius. Is not able to apprehend him. And the Masters are just flashing out left and right.
EG has vision of like C-Snaps, Command Killer, and Big Play Jodway. No real tanks in them. Chris Browns did get caught, and they could have engaged at 4v3, something that would have actually been in their favor, but opted to have a Night Show try and TP back to the lane, and at this point in time, it's too late. Short Hyperion was showing up, but I think they could have just stayed and forced the fight and then traded towers.
Indeed. And now they're losing not only their bot tower, but now their mid tower as well. This team's rotations are very, very well.
They're understanding what they can be doing and what they can't be doing. They're playing really, really well. They have a good tank front line in the Sejuani, playing really well around it right now.
Oh, nice essence shift to get out of that. But Braum is going to go down. Does throw a nice ult, tries to get out of there, but does go down to the bard. Orianna does get the tower. Lucian is going to ult, but Renekton takes the kill right away from him. Gets a stun onto the Darius. Darius gets super low as well. Nice ult coming out from the Azir. Orianna does kill the Azir. Renekton does kill the Darius. Oh man, Lucian is looking for blood, but he is going to have to back off. This is a tower, and that is game.
It's going to be pretty close at this point in time. I think they can end really long death timers at this point. They do have Baron. Nobody on their team has died, so there's all 5 here. They have so much wave clearing and tower pushing potential. That is a 3-item Lucian at this point in time, and I do think he will just end the game against EG. OC Nation going 2-0 for the day.
Ooh. Feels good. Very, very
played
well
by
played.
OC Nation, showing off, doing quite well at this point in time.
Let's check out these stats real quick. Let's see here. Let's go to events details.
I'm just waiting on my client to load because my client likes to load really slowly after games, so that's really fun. So we would like to start talking about damage.
Ooh.
Oh, there's my client right now. I would like to check out the damage dealt first.
Damage dealt first is fairly even between the Ezreal and the Lucian. He got ahead about 700 in terms of just damage dealt to champions, but but his team overall, we're all just sitting super strong. Beautiful damage coming out from the Renekton sitting at 14k. Sejuani sitting at 11. Orianna sitting at a strong 20. And Bard himself sitting at 14k himself. So
Almost
everyone on their
15,
team,
doing more damage than his top laner.
oof, feels good.
Yeah,
And
that
with
Bard
that-
does a lot of damage.
And with that, let's check out the coveted vision score here. With that, Bard sitting at a strong 60, while Braum was sitting at a strong 44. I feel like the main reason for that was just he had to stay with his team. Like, he couldn't go into the jungle because he knew he would die. So there's no real way for him to ward.
Absolutely. When you're behind and things like that, it's really hard to ward and de-ward. You have to be playing around your team and doing things together as a group, and it's really hard to organize that, especially if you're not communicating well, if you keep getting split up and things like this, especially if the enemy team is looking for picks. So it's honestly something you usually expect is that the losing team does have the lower vision score unless there's like an absolute change of events in the middle of the game. But that was not to be the case. I would really like to commend Skarner with a 50 vision score as well, having more than his support.
Yeah,
Well done,
indeed.
the Skarner trying his best to do what he can for his team, playing a
Yeah.
super tank jungler, not doing too much damage on the champion, but able to roam around, get good gank presence off.
And honestly, this just goes to show of just like a better team comp coming out from the side of OC there. Understood their champions, knew when their power spikes were, and definitely took advantage of that early game because I feel like that early kill down in bot lane really set them ahead. Because if Ezreal was able to kind of sit there, play safe like he wanted, this game would have went completely different.
Absolutely. I think there was just so much aggression going on all over the map. So many things were happening, and there was just a little bit of misplays, a little bit of mismacroing by turned the game around, gave up their lead.
They were never able to fully form up as a full 5.
No, they kept going for these aggressive things, thinking that they could do something. There was a little bit of misplays on their part, but the game was fully even throughout most of the game. It was very well done by all. I really liked the game. It was fun to watch and fun to cast.
Indeed, I love these games. The more kills, the better. I just wish every game was like the LPL.
A lot of bloody games are really fun to watch. And with that said, I believe we are just about ready to call the stream. We will be returning next Thursday. We will be having a good return. We'll see immediately our first game, Dota's Demons fighting Enigmatic Gaming in the first game of Thursday. And then we'll be followed by a couple of games from Havoc.
All right, folks. So definitely be looking forward to those games. And with that, you guys have a good night. Enjoy your solo queue and don't feed as much.
And have a great night.